Hello and welcome to episode 40 of the Nerds at Large Gaming Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Darby Holland.
I am Jeff Mayo. I'm Will Outlaw.
And this is Will Outlaw. You will see Will Outlaw later in this episode, but this is a bit of a weird one because we're all out of order. Everything you're seeing is going to be in weird orders because reasons, whatever. Will had to go somewhere. You will see.
Yes.
But we're going to go through the news very fast, the news of the week. And then the back half of the episode is going to be our 2017 Game of the Year, like our top 10 games. And we made a bunch of different categories, like best story, best other things. You'll see. We got into some weird categories.
We had a game.
And Jeff made a game, and me and Will competed. Did I finally win something, or is my life still one giant, failure?
Find out later.
Find out in a little bit. So, yeah. That's out of the way. I think I nailed everything. Did I do it, Jeff?
I think you nailed it.
Did it all right?
I think so.
The Falcons didn't do it all right, though.
Shut up.
All right. Jeff, let's get into the news.
Jingle, jingle, jingle.
Let's do it, Jeff.
Okay. First thing. This comes from Andrew Goldfarb from IGN. Nintendo has revealed Nintendo Labo, a new line of build-it-yourself experiences that will be compatible with Nintendo Switch. It will launch on April 20th in North America, Australia, and New Zealand, and April 27th in Europe. Starting with cardboard kits, players will be able to build creations and can then be connected to the Switch and interact with specific software. According to Nintendo, Labo kits will include modular cardboard sheets, quote, specifically designed to interact with Nintendo Switch, end quote, that can be crafted into creations Nintendo is calling Toy-Cons. Nintendo will offer 2 kits to start. A variety kit will be available for $69.99 and includes variety kit software as well as materials that build 2 RC cards, fishing rod, house, motorbike, and a piano that can be built out of cardboard and tested in a Switch. Robot kit will be available for $79.99 and offers robot kit software as well as materials to build a robot suit. Nintendo will also offer a customization kit for $9.99 that includes 2 stencil sheets, 2 sticker sheets, and 2 decorative tape rolls. And also, we had a big thing about this, but I wasn't going to read that all. Part of how this works is the whole thing uses the IR sensors on the right Joy-Con to sense stuff and uses HD's rumbles to move around. Yeah, I'm going to say right here, go watch the trailer for it. If you haven't seen it, it's a short trailer. Go watch it because it's so, just watch it for how weird it is, number one, and to understand everything we're talking about. So just go do that, then come back here. So the rumors were true. We got something the week after the mini direct.
We did. And if any one person says that they saw what it was coming, I don't believe them. I think that they are lying straight to our faces. All right, so I think
I saw someone joke about something to do with cardboard. I think that's the extent of it. And
I could have, if someone said something with cardboard in VR, I could have seen someone predicting that. But anyway, Jeff, I have so many things to say, so many things to pick your brain and talk to you about. You are the person I would want to talk about with this. So, okay, let's go. Starting with number one, most important, Nintendo is weird again. Not that they were ever not weird, but I feel like they're comfortable enough now to where they're going full Nintendo weird, and I kind of love it. I kind of love it, Nintendo. There's whatever you're expecting us to do. Nope.
Yep.
Throw that out the window. We're going to go out left field. We're going to do something potentially innovative, potentially something that crashes and burns, but we're going to do what our vision is. We're going to do something strange, and you're going to some new way to play something. And I like when Nintendo is in the mode where they can do these things.
Indeed.
And just... God, it was so weird when this trailer dropped.
I was like, what is this thing going to be? And then it started rolling in. Oh, okay.
I don't know about you, but when I was watching the whole time, I was just what? I was so confused the entire time. When the cardboard thing came out, I was like, oh, okay, it's going to be a VR type thing. Like Google Cardboard. I thought it was going to be something you put the Switch in and the Switch
I thought that for 2 seconds, and then I remember, they could have said this to, make us not think it was this, but Reggie said earlier this week, or someone in Nintendo said, yeah, when I care about ATR or anything 4K or VR, we don't care about any of that. But again, if it was VR, they could have done it to throw off the stand. They could have been lying. But obviously they weren't.
Yeah, I didn't see that, so that's probably part of why I thought that. Okay, but overall, Jeff, do you think Labo is something that either number one you would be interested in, And number two, do you think there is an audience for this?
One, no. I'm not getting this thing
because
it's for kids.
Exactly.
They said so.
I was going to ask. Just I was going to ask, yeah.
Two, yes, I think there's an audience for this. Like, I think just the reaction to this has made that very clear. A lot of it, like how successful it's going to be, just depends on how quality the product is itself.
Yeah.
And I feel like Nintendo's been doing this long enough to know they can't just... Like, everyone's worried that the cardboard's going to fall apart in 2 seconds, all that kind of stuff. I think Nintendo's smart enough to make sure that doesn't happen.
Yes.
Or at least to a point, because stuff is going to happen. Some people are going to break it, but to the point just kind of touching it's going to make it fall apart.
To the point, like, I think it's obvious it's not just going to be your normal, just flimsy cardboard that comes in your Amazon box or something. Like, it's obviously going to be something that's built to last more because you're supposed to be doing things with it. You're supposed to actively be making it into things and like more and more things as time goes on. Like, this doesn't seem like something you're supposed to just do a one-time thing and then go away.
Yeah.
That being said, I worry that like even with that, this is still, there's lots of little pieces to this and lots of little things with when kids are doing this, like, it almost seems like a matter of time. Something's going to get stepped on. Something's going to get torn apart or something, no matter how sturdy it is. Because in the end of the day, it is still cardboard. And I feel like that would be way more okay. And I would be way more like, all right, things happen or whatever. If it wasn't for the fact that this thing is $70. I feel like if anything's going to be the death blow for this, that's it. Because it instantly goes from, oh, well, accidents happen, this happened, we'll just go buy another one, to this better work because I just spent $70 on it. And if it gets destroyed in a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 3 months, I'm going to be mad because I spent $70 on it.
There are a couple things about that potentially. Yeah, they could potentially make this cheaper. I don't know what all goes into this as far as that kind of stuff. There's software in this that's important to remember. Yeah. We don't know how extensive the software is, so we can't really comment as much on that. Mm-hmm. As far as that goes, and as far as, the whole potential breaking thing, I know this doesn't make it that much better, but I think there was something saying they are going to do like replacement stuff with just the cardboard.
I hope. I feel like I wish they had said that immediately. And I mean, I would argue that like if Nintendo has done one thing kind of poorly, or I don't even know if they could have helped it because I don't know what cost goes into their things. But either way, it looks bad and everything. The one thing they did poorly was the cost of their accessories. Like, if you buy a Joy-Con, it's a lot of money. Or a dock, it's a lot of money. And I worry that this is going to be a similar thing where it's just like, it's not going to be financially viable to like buy replacements for things that go wrong with this. And conceptually, I completely agree with you. I think that people are overplaying the whole thing. Kids just are on iPhones and don't want to build anything. What
I'm about to say is very, very anecdotal. Just reading some stuff online and a lot of it being on Reset or their parents on there and stuff saying like they showed their kids this, they're all in, they want it. And about the price, they said like when people comment price, they're like, you guys apparently don't know how much toys are these days. This isn't that much. To be fair, I don't. Yeah. To be fair, I'm again very anecdotal, and obviously that'll vary from person to person. Right. That's just what I saw.
Yeah. Which to be fair, I definitely am not. This is not a thing that's targeted towards me, so I don't. I'm not in this world or whatever. But I just worry because like it seems like a very cool idea and everything. And I just don't want it to kind of fall by the wayside because of those issues. Yeah. And everything like that. And also, this is something that this is never something, even if I was a parent, that I would blindly buy because I want to see how well this stuff works first. Mm-hmm. This is a very weird thing and like kind of an untested thing to have, using a console with practical stuff to make things, I want to make sure it works before it does it. But also, I think this has a potential to be like a really, really cool thing and a really big like impulse buy at Walmart for parents who see it, who see like the kids playing on the box and everything and have this or whatever. And I think it could sell a lot.
Yeah, but I think it definitely has the potential to. Obviously, when you see how it goes, because obviously it's something I think it's mainly for kids, but I think Nintendo, I guess we don't know how hard it is to build. They make it look easy or whatever, but at some points it looks complicated. I think they expect parents to help.
No,
I think that's part of it.
Like
they want parents and kids to build the stuff together, which I think will be part of the appeal.
and that's what a lot of people have said. Like, yes, this would be awesome to spend time with my daughter, or spend time with my son.
Yeah,
like,
and
yeah.
Legos are a big thing and everything, all that kind of stuff. Which is an extra incentive for this potentially is you build it, you have a video game to play with it.
Yeah, and it's interactive. Like the robot thing, that's so cool.
Yeah.
That is so cool. Like,
So-
if I was a kid
also we know-
and you could just put the Joy-Con in this thing and make it move, that's so cool.
I mean, let's be honest. If these were things when we were kids, we'd be all over.
Oh, I'd be begging my parents for it,
Yeah.
especially if you already had a Switch, which more and more families are getting Switches. So
And this could be one of those things that puts people over their edge. It's just one of those little things.
And because you could be like, I could buy the Switch for me and have this Labo thing for the kid who's maybe not old enough to be like all into all the games.
Yeah.
Whatever,
Also, just go back to the robot thing. We know where Project Giant Robot went. That old thing, Miyamoto thing. We know where that went now.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, there's the one kit that's kind of the variety with everything, and then the other kit is just the robot game, right?
Yes. I'm interested to see like how. I mean, I don't think it's be that in depth or whatever, but don't expect like a full game. I'm interested to see like how much is in that robot game, especially since it's by itself.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's pretty meaty if it's just the one thing. I'm also wondering, is the variety thing, is it just like for each one of those things, like the fishing rod,
Yeah.
the other thing, everything they showed, is that just like you have one fishing rod game? Or can you use the fishing rod in future games that they do? Or is it going to be like, how compatible is this going to be in the future? And how, like, one thing I'm most interested in is I think in a lot of the marketing, they're advertising it as like, create your own thing or whatever. I'm wondering if what they're showing are just kind of their default things that they showed, but you could actually make these into other things if you wanted and make them.
I'm very curious about that as well, just partly because at least with these kits, they have like outlines like, okay, this is what you pop out of the cardboard little stencil thing and you build or whatever, and this for the and all these go to a game. Like, how exactly will that work?
Yeah,
you can only do so much. Or are they talking about the create your own thing is like designing it with this markers and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, that's probably what they mean, because like, especially with the IR sensors and stuff, how could a kid or a parent for that matter
figure out
a different way to use the IR sensor? It's like, no, that'd be too much. That'd be too much.
And yay for Nintendo figuring out a way to use the IR sensor
and the rumble and doing all of that or whatever to use it in ways that none of us saw coming. In a lot of ways, the IR sensor has mostly just been like, why is this thing here? Like, what are we doing with this?
They did that whole eating thing and 1-2 switch, and that was
and I thought that was going to be the end of it. I really didn't think there was going to be too many other things. So this was very interesting.
So
Nintendo's again.
Yep. Again, I think this will be really cool. I mean, obviously this isn't a surefire hit, but I think it's going to do well unless it really is just like awful and not well made.
Yeah. And I think I think this is an important note to hit, that everyone needs to remember that this is for kids. There's so many people
People need to chill with this is kind of a side thing, but people need to lower their expectations with stuff from Nintendo. I mean, not
in general, yes. Yeah,
I mean, not in the way of like, give Nintendo a free pass for not announcing exciting things, but don't expect everything to be a megaton.
Right, and not everything's for you either.
Not every month needs to have a megaton that's suited for you, pretty much. Like, as far as release schedule and stuff. Like, when this... Like, I guess you saw the announcement they put that the morning of, be like, hey, this is a created thing for kids. Yeah. And kids at heart. Whatever.
People kind of just ignore the part.
I saw people legitimately saying, like, Animal Crossing and Smash and Pokemon. I'm like, no. This is going to be some kind of...
Oh, and just like, this was probably a megaton announcement for parents with kids. Yeah. Like, for a different audience, this was a huge deal.
And I mean just, I'm not going to get too much into it, but some comments from adults were embarrassing. Like, just the reaction to this. Yeah.
I mean, like, if we go, like, the rest of this year and we still don't have these announcements that is part of the reason I bought the Switch, is wanting these in the future, then yeah, sure. Oh, but you shouldn't expect every single announcement is going to be this or whatever. No, like, yeah, if we go forever and it's still not happening, then you have a reason to complain. But.
No, and I think it was smart of Nintendo to keep this separate from the mini direct.
Announce
the announcement of the announcement be a little before, so people don't get their hopes up too much or hype up, mentioning it is for kids.
Yeah.
I don't think Nintendo could have done a better job as far as that goes.
I don't think so either. I think that's all I have for Labo.
Yeah. So
very interesting.
We're not going to have impressions, but we will talk about how it does and that stuff later on, I'm sure.
I'm very interested to see how it sells and stuff.
Okay,
Jeff,
thing.
This next story, Jeff.
Darby, it's mainly rumor, remember this.
But it's a pretty substantial rumor.
I know, but,
I'm going to let myself do it. I'm going to let myself do it.
We'll get into that later. Okay, this comes from Wesley Yinpool from Eurogamer. Work is underway on a brand new bid-budget Fable game.
Yes.
Eurogamer can reveal.
Yes.
Fable franchise owner Microsoft has tasked UK developer Playground, which makes the Forza Horizon racing games for Xbox and PC, with creating this new Fable. Sources close to the project have told Eurogamer. Microsoft said in a statement it does not comment on rumor or speculation. We've heard the new Fable is planned as a story and character-focused open-world action RPG. A significant investment in its development is also planned, with some 200 people set to work on the game at Playground's newly established second office and, Leamington Spa, Warwickshire. Ex-Lion Head staff Eurogamer spoke with said they were excited to see Playground bring Fable back from the dead, but this excitement is tempered somewhat by a sadness that Lionhead was never given the chance to make its dream Fable 4. Fable co-creator Simon Carter told Eurogamer, I have slightly mixed feelings. On the one hand, it's great for the UK games industry and very pleasing that Fable isn't dead. Indeed, it will be lovely to play as a punter without coming out in hives. On the other hand, it is a little curious to get rid of the team that is uniquely expert in making Fable and then try to make Fable. Fable is a weird game and a tough one to deconstruct for a new team. That said, the team in question is very talented and I'm sure they'll do a fantastic job.
Yeah. So this is very, I want to get into that whole last part.
Yeah.
First off, there's probably going to be a new Fable game, which excites me so much because this is a series that I loved so much as a kid. I love Fable 1 and 2, and I even like Fable 3 a lot, which is more of a controversial one. Definitely not as good as 2, but I still think it was a very solid game. And I thought this series was dead. Part of why I'm so excited about this is I assumed I was never getting another Fable. Yeah. I accepted that. And the fact that it's coming back at all is, in any case, is good. Definitely, so it's being developed by a studio who has really only made Forza Horizon games, only made racing games or whatever.
Or known for it at least.
Obviously, that's an immediate red flag that, obviously they have not made a game
well,
like this before.
just real quick, I'm sure you may have been going this direction, but Guerrilla Games going from Killzone to Horizon.
Yeah, I'm getting there, because, so in the one way, it's okay, it's more of a risk because no one's, they haven't done this and everything. In another way, it's actually kind of exciting because I think Fable is a franchise that needs new life breathed into it. Mm-hmm. Fable 3 kind of went in some not great directions, and some of the RPG stuff that Fable is doing has been perfected by other games now, and the Fable mechanic, some of it's a little out of date at this point. So I think having fresh eyes on it could be a very positive thing. Mm-hmm. And it seems like the thing that makes me feel better, it seems like they're adding so many other people onto this project and everything. And Horizon was already kind of an open world racing thing already, and they're adding people from Rockstar and people from all these other places.
Oh, just so he means Forza Horizon.
Yeah, Forza Horizon. Sorry. So it's almost yes, it is that studio, but it's almost a new studio at this point with new people coming in. So I'm going to I'm hesitantly this could not work, but I think that Microsoft has the right mindset going into it of making it their Fable Legends or whatever flopped and it didn't come out, and it was not the direction they want with Fable. They're going back old school with it, but with a new studio. I like it. Yeah.
So just I guess a couple things. Yeah. That kind of ties in, I guess, how you feel about the comments from Simon Carter.
Yeah, I agree with him that it is. I mean, it is sad that the people who made the other Fable games aren't going to be able to make this, and it didn't even seem like they really drew many of them back on, which you would kind of expect them to. which is sad in the fact that they're not able to do it. But like I said, I think that could be a good thing. It could be a good thing that someone else is working on this. Mm-hmm. I just hope that, like, I imagine they're fans of the old game and they're going to try to bring back some of the magic of that. I'm so glad it's still being made in the UK, because like Fable needs to have that British humor. Mm-hmm. The humor in Fable is so British, and it's so like it's just great. Like the tone of that game, there's such a unique tone to Fable that you do have to hit. So I hope that they can hit it. And you have to manage the combat part of it, but also the complete openness where you can marry anyone you want, you can have any job you want, you can do all these different things. You can join this faction, join this, join anything. It needs to have that openness about it. And God, if they do it, a Fable in modern like graphics and modern consoles could be so much fun.
Yeah, I was curious. Fable 3 came out in 2010.
Yeah, it's a long time ago.
Yeah,
long time ago. I guess from you, someone outside of this, obviously I'm just blinded by hype from the game. Do you think that the Fable name still has enough juice in it for a new like newly realized Fable game to actually like succeed, especially if it's on Microsoft? Like it's going to be tied to Microsoft.
Okay, a couple of things potentially that maybe the Fable name not necessarily it'll get some people in, and then some people who may not play the Fable games like, oh, I've heard of Fable, blah blah blah. Yeah. Being a long time, it obviously depends on what they do with it. They got to go all out with the whole AAA open world thing because that's a bit more of a thing now. So everyone needs to step up their game just in general.
Yeah.
But what could potentially help this is, it could be a different climate for Microsoft by the time this come out, because
could be
as far as we know, this is early on. As far as we know,
this could be the next Xbox. It could not even be this Xbox.
This could have a chance to hit it big, especially if it's quality, just because there's not much like it on Xbox.
Yeah.
Like it's for, especially, exclusive wise, because a lot of these, like, bigger, like, quote-unquote exclusive games that might be comparable to this are even on PlayStation, or even Nintendo gets more of those. So that alone could help it.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think there's a low floor and a high ceiling for a new Fable. It's just the way, depending on how they do it, depending on where Microsoft is. The old Fable fans are going to be back. Like everyone like me who loves the other games was so excited when this happened. Like they got us. Yeah. I just think that it could be, if it's a big enough draw and like they do it needs something like new, catchy that you're able to see in a trailer and be like, boom, that's its new thing. Like I don't know what it is. It's very vague. It just needs something.
It show a trailer that for the Fable fans community, yes, this is Fable, and also just like, yes, there's new stuff in here to get Fable fans excited, and just people in general excited.
Yeah.
So
I mean, this is the one franchise where it's like there are franchises that Xbox has that I really like, but it's just like I don't have an Xbox, so I guess I won't play that. Fable is like, I will find a way to play Fable. Whether I have to use like my parents' PC or I borrow your Xbox if it's on that, or some way.
I'll definitely let you borrow it if it's an Xbox One game.
Yeah, and I appreciate it. But Fable is the one series where I will find a way to play the game. I will not let Fable elude me.
Yeah. So. Even the point of, even it's ready by the time Xbox, before the next Xbox comes, this could potentially be one they just push back. Like just save it for Xbox, whatever. The next one is.
I could see it coming out in both potentially, having an Xbox One version and
so many questions here, Darby.
Lots of questions. I mean, and this game is so far out. Like it's we're probably not going to talk about this for a while, because it's not even a confirmed thing at this point. It's just a rumor. This is just. I mean, yes, it's a rumor, but this is such a substantial rumor. It seems like it's true. I mean, I would highly doubt this. So I'm excited, Jeff. This is definitely one of the games I'm now most excited for. It's just the potential of a new Fable. I'm definitely
now at every Xbox event, you're gonna be secretly hoping for an
announcement. Waiting for Fable. Let's go. Let's freaking go.
Okay, so let's move on. Yeah, we're getting to the. Right now, we don't have a bunch of crazy big news. We're getting to the smaller news.
Just go right through them. But 2017 games, I like our discussion. You'll like it too.
Yes. Okay, first thing. Final Fantasy 15 Royal Edition was announced, and the PC version got a release date. The Royal Edition and the Windows version will both be coming out March 6th. The Royal Edition will feature all updates, season pass stuff, aka the character episodes, and the Comrades multiplayer expansion. Other additions to the Royal mode include a fully controllable boat, which you can fish on, and a new first-person mode. Just add a bunch of random things in here.
You can have a boat, but don't you fish.
Yeah. And both these are priced at $49.99, and you can update the regular Final Fantasy 15 game to the Royal Edition for, digitally for $19.99.
So is the first person mode like the entire game in first person?
I assume that's what they meant.
So weird. So weird.
I can't even imagine how that would look. It sounds like it'd be so weird. Like
probably
teleporting
not,
would
probably not good.
Yeah, and probably you dashing around with Noctis. Like just imagine that.
How to throw up.
Yeah, imagine that in VR.
No, thank you. Yeah. Well, if Final Fantasy 15 will continue to get new stuff until the end of.
And we're now at the point where we're like, well, yeah, we're still waiting to play the game, and stuff gets added. We're like, oh, maybe we should have ready for the
20
Royal
years
Edition.
from now, when they stop adding stuff, I'll play.
Yeah. But then we still need to buy that update to get everything, Darby. And let's face it, we're not going to pay $20 for a boat. And for
I'll be lucky if I ever get around to finishing it.
Or even really playing it.
There's so many games.
Yeah. Okay, in kind of sad news, according to the developer Compulsion Games, We Happy Few has been delayed from April 13th until the summer for extra polish after deciding to make substantial changes to the first few hours of playable character Arthur's story. And during a sneak peek, or in a Dead Diary thing where they announced this, I think there was a sneak peek of a second playable character called Sally.
Tortured Games not going to do well.
No, I hated it. Everyone was so hyped for this game.
Yeah, it really sucks.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I forgot to fill this out. Oh, whatever. Okay. This stuff comes from Brian Barnett from IGN. Life is Strange Before the Storm is getting a physical edition, and it comes out March 6th. The standard edition is $30, and there's a $40 limited edition on Amazon that comes with an art book and the game's soundtrack.
Very good soundtrack.
Yes, for only $10 more.
And I like the art in this game.
Oh yeah, I know what it was. The physical edition also comes with the farewell episode. So which means the farewell episode is coming out March 6th, which we will play, of course.
So excited.
Yep.
To the end of that Mac story.
Buy this game, people. Another game people should buy. Night of the Woods is coming to the Switch on February 1st. And this will be the Weird Autumn edition. So the free, updated version with all the extra stuff.
Right. That is where I will play this game, Jeff.
Indeed. And everyone, if you're on Switch, play
in
general.
I might play this game that around. I might this might be a game when it comes out February 1st. I might get it and just drop everything and play it there.
I just realized this game's literally on anything. I think he's even on phones.
Good.
So
get it out the
everyone
woods,
play it.
You have no excuse.
Game.
No excuses.
I'm hoping you like it as much as I do, or at least close.
I think I will.
Yeah. Okay, so we got one more thing, Darby.
Last thing before everything else.
Yeah. We have sales news, Darby.
Sales
time.
MPDs
for December have come out. The third Thursday of the month has snuck up on us. So
it's here.
Yep. Okay, so we're just going through the highlights. Switch was the best-selling console of December. 3DS has had its best sales month since December 2014, and that's why we still get 3DS games.
Yeah, if you wonder why, that's why.
Stop buying them, people.
You're part of the problem. Yeah, buy whatever you want.
And I guess this isn't really surprising. I didn't put it on here, but between Switch, 3DS, and SNES Classic sales, Nintendo made up over 50% of hardware sales for December.
Damn, son.
Yeah, I guess it makes sense considering.
Now, was this the thing where wasn't Xbox actually sold more than PlayStation in December, and then Switch sold more than it? All right, don't label me on that, but I was certain that was the case because that was really weird.
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah. So Xbox had a good month.
Yes, and since in this December we got more final year stuff. PlayStation 4 was the best-selling console of 2017. Mm-hmm. I think the Switch wasn't that much far behind, probably, at least in the US.
Yeah.
But it had 2 less months.
2 less month. And, PlayStation is still just selling strong. The Switch has been the story all the time. Yeah.
Okay, then we have the top whatever games for the month. I'm going to obviously do the top 10, and then a couple games in the 11 to 20 that just stand out to me.
And then we'll bounce.
Yep, then we have the year, and this might not take too long. Okay, number 1 for December, Call of Duty World War II. No doubt. Number 2, Star Wars Battlefront 2, 2017. That does not include PC digital sales.
No, the PS2 one sold
Yes.
second.
Yes. Number 3, Super Mario Odyssey. Does not include digital sales.
Pretty high.
Yeah. Number 4, NBA 2K18. Number 5, Mario Kart 8. Not including digital sales. It coming back up there. Madden NFL 18. PlayerUnknown's Battleground at number 7. Not including PC digital sales.
Wow. That's so that's
That's
just
only Xbox.
Wow.
Yeah. Number 8, Assassin's Creed Origins. Number 9, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, not including digital sales. Number 10, Grand Theft Auto 5. And just a couple things.
Grand Theft Auto number 5 is all the way down at 10, so it's a flop, right?
Yeah.
Failure.
And just a couple things, 11 through 20. I don't have on the dock that just stood out. Destiny 2's at number 12. Splatoon 2 came back up as at 14, not including digital sales. Xenoblade Chronicles 2, debut month, at number 16, no digital sales. I don't have the highest thing, but this is as niche as niche gets.
It is, yeah, for how niche that is, yeah.
Yeah.
That's decently. I don't know what exactly was around it, but
Especially with all the games that are ahead of it. Yeah. And Pokemon being 19 and 20 for Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. Okay.
All right. Well,
we got one more thing, Darby.
Oh, Jeffrey.
Sorry, we got the top 10 selling games of the year.
Okay.
We gotta talk about that, Darby.
Sorry.
Or I just mentioned it.
I missed that. Yeah, go for it.
Number 1, Call of Duty World War II. Be
Duh.
surprised. I think it's a top selling game, or Call of Duty's top selling game for like the last 8 years or something.
They have been. Yeah. Even when Call of Duty is fading away. No, it's not. It's not. It's really not.
They're only making a couple $1 billion, guys. Okay. NBA 2K18 number 2. Destiny 2 at number 3 with no PC digital sales. Madden NFL 18 at number 4. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, no digital sales at number 5.
That's good.
Grand Theft Auto 5 at number 6. You would think that game would still be
It's freaking unbelievable.
Yeah. Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands at number 7. Star Wars Battlefront 2 at number 8 with no PC digital sales. Super Mario Odyssey with no digital sales at number 9. And number 10, Mario Kart 8 with no digital sales.
Nintendo.
Having 3 in there.
Yeah.
Good for them.
And I mean, yeah, Zelda number 5. It's awesome.
Yep. And Mario making it in there. No.
Yeah. Year of Nintendo.
Yep. So yeah, not much to talk about here because none of it's not that much surprising.
The sports games at the top and Call of Duty at the very top and GTA somewhere
Destiny
there in
being
the middle
there,
and Destiny being at the top. The big things are.
Honestly, the biggest surprise thing is all the, the Nintendo games
The
being in
Nintendo
top
games.
10s.
Yeah.
I honestly don't expect that next year, so.
No.
Basically,
They just
unless Pokemon comes out.
Oh, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Are we done now?
I believe we're done.
All right. We're sending you back to past Jeff and Darby. Enjoy.
Have fun with Will. Bye. Okay, we might be back. I don't know how we're doing this. We're doing...
Time.
Yeah, you probably already heard it at this point, but we're doing our Game of the Year stuff, and Will has to go at some point, so we're doing this stuff.
You completely lied to us. Completely lied to us. No, you're going to go support our college that I'm not supporting at all.
That's
so
true.
there you go. You're doing
We
something
beat
good.
Kentucky.
We did, somehow.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
I will be honest, I have not been paying a whole lot of attention.
Me neither.
Is Kentucky as good as they normally are?
They were 18th when we beat them.
Okay.
So,
So
it's
not
alright.
not quite normal Kentucky, but still
top 25.
still
whatever.
impressive. Yeah, I'll take it. I'm
Speaking of games, what's this game about?
Okay, yeah, so yeah, if you guys anyone's been watching our last couple podcasts, we're doing game quizzes in between news and the main topic. But we're doing this stuff first in case Will has to go and get the point of stuff out of the way.
correct.
Yes. So,
So will I beat Will in something? I guess we're about to find out.
yeah, what's going to be cool about this, yeah, we actually have you two competing against each other. So this is the way it's going to work. I have 7 questions regarding a theme.
Okay.
Multiple choice.
Okay.
And this is the way it's going to work. They're going to be 3 choices. You guys wait till I'm done reading all the choices. I mean, you're going to have to anyway.
Okay.
And I've been thinking about this. I have no other way to do this without potentially destroying people's eardrums or anything, or you guys just yelling stuff out. So, I guess buzz in, per se. Usually, you guys are just going to say the news jingle. Whoever does it first gets to answer.
Jingle, jingle, jingle.
Jingle, jingle, jingle.
Jangle.
Will.
I haven't been here so long.
I know. It's been so long. You gotta get back in the swing of things.
And yeah, whoever gets it first will get to answer it. And if they get it wrong, the next person gets the chance. And if
Okay.
they get it wrong, you both just don't get any points because then there's only one answer left.
Okay.
Okay, so
And we're naming the game.
the answer. There's going to be 3 answers. There's going to be 3 multiple choice answers to whatever question.
It might be different from week to week, but that's the way this is.
Okay.
So there's 7 questions, and since we're talking about Game of the Year stuff, this game is called, remember, Who Won the Most Game of the Year Awards?
So are we referring to the Keeleys, or are we referring to just all major outlets?
Okay, this is the way it's going to work. I have 7 different years, and I have 3 different games for each one.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Wait, 7 different what?
The questions are 7 different years, and I have 3 answers. What you guys need to do is tell me which one won the most critic game awards that year.
Okay.
And also just so you guys aren't confused depending on the answer, the correct answer may not be the one who won the most overall. Just who won the most out of these 3 choices.
Right.
Because some years it's obvious.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I like it. I like these games, Jeff. You're good at this.
Okay. So, this is kind of in order as far as the years I chose. So, first year, 2003. Okay. A. Star Wars, The Knights of the Old Republic. B. The Legend of Zelda, The Wind Waker. Or C. Call of Duty.
Jingle, jingle, jangle.
Which one, Darby?
Knights of the Old Republic.
Correct.
Yay!
I was thinking that might be it, but
I know it got a lot. I remember, I just remember people talking about that being their game of the year and stuff.
Okay, so
back when I used to watch Rooster Teeth, they were all into it.
I also have the numbers and the overall winner. How about I go through that just so for fun facts?
Yeah.
Star Wars, yes, was the right answer with 18.
Okay.
Wind Waker had 8. Call of Duty had 4. The overall winner that year was Star Wars.
Okay.
As we go on, you'll notice the numbers get higher for the most part.
Okay.
Steadily get higher.
more game sites, I guess.
Yeah, just more,
exactly.
more people talking about games.
Okay, 2004. A. Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. B. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Or C. Halo 2.
Oh, jeez.
Those are all so good.
Oh, that's hard.
Jingle, jingle, jangle, Snake Eater.
Wrong.
Oh, jeez.
So Darby, you got between Grand Theft Auto San Andreas and Halo 2.
Gosh, those are all great games.
Halo was such a big deal back then. But so was GTA. Halo 2.
Correct.
Yeah. Oh God, I could have gone either way with that.
Yeah.
Are those as close as we were thinking they were?
For the ones you had to choose between, yes, this is the way it worked. Halo 2 had 11. San Andreas had 9. Metal Gear Solid only had 2.
Oh, wow.
The overall winner that year was Half-Life 2.
Oh, jeez.
I didn't put that in because that was
that would have probably been more obvious.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
Interesting.
So we now have 2005.
Okay.
I'm falling behind.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Get better. Darby gets 2 more. He wins it all.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, so A. Shadow of the Colossus. B. Civilization 4. Or C. God of War.
Jingle, jingle, jangle, Shadow of the Colossus.
Correct.
Oh no! I just thought that's such an artsy critic game. There has to.
I just need you to miss one, so I have a 50% chance. That's the issue.
Okay, so
Dang.
Shadow of the Colossus had 6. God of War had 4. Civilization 4 had 3.
Okay.
The overall winner that year was Resident Evil 4, who
Swept.
took the majority.
Yeah, so those are pretty low numbers there.
There's a big difference.
Yeah,
it had 35.
Oh yeah. I was just wondering, I wonder if Shadow of the Colossus was as big of a deal then, or if it did it not gain steam until years afterwards.
Yeah, I was thinking that one too.
Yeah.
Okay, 2006.
Okay. All right, there's me. I have to do this.
A. Gears of War. B. The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. Or C. The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess.
What was the first one again?
Gears of War.
What was the second one?
Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion.
Jingle, jingle, jangle, Elder Scrolls 4. Oblivion.
Correct.
Those were all great games too.
Those were those rough.
Decently close. Okay, Elder Scrolls Oblivion was the top that year with 40. Gears of War, let's see, had 34, and Twilight Princess had 26.
If I had guessed, I probably would have guessed Gears of War, so I probably would have gotten that wrong.
Okay.
That's rough.
Coming back from the dead.
Okay, so we got 3 more now. We're skipping ahead to 2011.
Oh wow.
All right, this is more our era anyway.
Yeah,
That's good.
Yeah. Try not to get too close to our era.
Yeah.
Okay, so A, Batman Arkham City. B, Uncharted 3, Drake's Deception. Or C, Portal 2.
Jingle, 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 Portal 2.
Correct.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
You couldn't get it out close enough. I'm not used to saying that.
As soon as you start saying poor, I was like, nope. That's it.
So yeah, Portal 2 had 53. Uncharted 3 had 16, and Batman Arkham City had 36. The overall winner was
Wow,
Skyrim.
that's a lot for Arkham City.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Have both of y'all played Portal 2?
I watched someone like in the room as me play the whole thing,
Okay.
and I helped them out with puzzles.
Well,
so kind of, I've seen the whole
Yeah,
story.
yeah.
and-
So Darby wins, but we're gonna go through the
Yeah,
other
keep
two.
going.
I won something.
I have to redeem myself.
Okay, 2012. A, Mass Effect 3. B, Dishonored. C, Borderlands 2.
Jingle, jingle, jangle. Mass Effect 3.
Wrong.
There was a lot of just weird stuff about Mass Effect 3 and everyone hated the ending
3
and
was the
stuff.
one that
Yeah,
was dang.
so it's Borderlands.
2 and Dishonored.
I'm gonna go with Dishonored.
Correct.
I don't like Dishonored, but I know a lot of critics do. So
I like Dishonored to get that.
it's just not my style. I just didn't.
Yeah.
So I just
Also,
didn't vibe
kind of
with it for
important
some
though,
reason.
I did critics only, but they had like reader polls in it as well.
Yeah.
Those honestly didn't change the winner of it that much. Obviously changed the numbers. I think it only really would have affected one.
Okay.
Okay, so Dishonored had 42. Mass Effect 3 had 21. Borderlands 2 was 15. But the overall winner that year was Telltale's The Walking Dead.
Yeah, I remember.
Which is
I
so
remember that
weird
sweeping a
looking
bunch
back
of
on
things.
it.
Yeah.
Pretty weird.
But you
I
got
mean, it
you
makes
got to
sense.
remember that was the first one.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that was no one had really played. The Telltale wasn't like every other week there's a Telltale game. It wasn't the case back then.
Okay, final year, 2014.
Very close.
A.
That was a bad year too.
Senior year?
I mean, Inquisition won the whole thing. I know for Game Awards.
You're right,
Which
but
is weird.
that's not any of the choices.
Okay. Again, I don't like that game at all.
Yeah.
But anyway,
A. Bayonetta 2. B. Dark Souls 2. Or C. Far Cry 4.
Jingle, jingle, jangle. Dark Souls 2.
Wrong.
yeah, people don't like Dark Souls too.
Yeah, I didn't think.
So it was.
I didn't think Far Cry. I mean,
Far Cry
it's
4
okay.
was also. I like Far Cry 4, but it definitely did not set the world on fire. Like,
yeah, I liked it, but not that much.
I'm gonna say Bayonetta.
Correct.
Okay.
These were close, and these were like way more down on the list than most of the
I
other
figured
ones.
they were. Like, yeah, Far Cry 4 was just. It was kind of like coming off of Far Cry 3 and how, like, Far Cry 3 like was, oh my god, and Far Cry 4 was just kind of like more of the same.
Yeah.
Okay,
Exactly.
yeah. So Bayonetta 2 had 17, Dark Souls 2 had 12, and Far Cry 4 had 10, and like Darby said, Dragon Age Inquisition was the overall winner that year. So final score, Darby 6,
Such a
Will
weak
1.
year.
I got creamed.
I did it. I did it. You know, I would like to thank everyone.
It had to happen sometime. Overall score, me 3, Darby 1.
You know, I won't let it get to my head. That's the
Just you wait. E3 2018.
Oh, God.
Coming back.
Also for the fun, if we ever want to come up, I don't know if I told you this, Darby, I'm keeping all the past questions on one thing. Like,
Okay.
I'm just filling it in and having like what you got right and wrong and everything. So we kind of have a little things
That's good.
showing the history. Also partly so I can make sure I don't do the same thing twice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that. I like these games. You're
Yeah,
a good
good
game
game.
master, Jeff.
Good game.
All right, Jeff and Will. It is time to talk about our favorite games of 2017 and say what, our order of them. God, I can't talk. Me and Jeff at least are going to list our top 10 games. Will unfortunately didn't get to play enough games to have a top 10, but he's at least going to talk about like his top few games that he's played. And we also just came up with some other random cool categories that we're going to say our like answer to, so you will see that as well.
Yeah. So we're doing the categories first, right?
Yeah, we're going to do the categories first, and then we're going to go into that. So are you ready with, or do you need to like...
I think I'm ready, yeah.
Okay. Well,
I thought I played 5 games. Maybe I only played 4 from this year. We'll see.
well, you can at least talk about how you feel about them and stuff. So, Jeff, should we start?
Yeah, just real quick. Well, I thought you played Resident Evil.
What's up?
Didn't you play Resident Evil, or did you just have the shirt? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just had the shirt. Yeah, that's true.
Where'd you get the shirt?
Some guy that I know gets loot box, and he was like, I don't really like Resident Evil. I was like, all right, I'll take it.
I hope you end up liking the game whenever you play it, or that would be unfortunate.
I need to get back playing in VR. I don't know if you know, I had PlayStation VR now.
Yeah, Darby told me that.
Yeah, you need to try it. You
yeah.
definitely need to try it.
I was going to bring it until he said he was leaving, so.
Oh, yeah, that
Next
would
time,
have
dude.
been soon, dude, soon. All right, let's start out with our best gaming moment of
How
the
spoiler
year.
do you want to get?
I'm not going to, because we're going to be talking about so many different games. I don't want to get too spoilery. It would obviously make the discussion better if we could, but if we get spoilery into every single game, there's bound to be people who don't want to hear spoilers for things.
Yeah.
That's at least the way I see it.
I think this is the only one on here that I could get really spoiler in,
Okay.
unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm going to, luckily, my number one, the one that I chose for this, my best gaming moment of 2017 was not a surprise at all, leaving the Great Plateau in Legend of Zelda. And as soon as you get out of that tutorial area, whatever, and you paraglide down, and it's just like the world just opens up. You can do anything, like everything you can think of to interact with, you can do. And it was just such a one of the most just kind of magical times in playing a game that I haven't had in so long, where I just couldn't stop playing it. And obviously Zelda was amazing the whole way through, but that first moment of when it opened up was just something truly special. And I'm just going to say shout out, honorable mention to, definitely not spoiling this, especially since you have not played it, but the big story twist in the Horizon is one of the best. I'm
excited.
It's one of the best twists, and it made the game go from, this is just a fun action game with cool set pieces to this is legitimately good sci-fi. This is really, really, really high class sci-fi, and that was obviously amazing. And small shout out to the fish butchery thing in the Edith Finch, that mini game. Jeff will know. Anyone who's played Edith Finch will know. But.
Yeah.
No shout out to Doki Doki.
Doki Doki will get its time.
Okay.
Don't you worry.
Just making sure.
Don't you worry.
I don't know. For me, so I only played, in terms of narrative experiences, I played Mass Effect Andromeda and some of Horizon. So I haven't gotten to the twists. So I didn't have any narrative surprises or best gaming moment or anything. But I think probably the one I'm thinking of off the top of my head is, I actually wrote about it in my Ghost Recon review. And that was this time when I was just playing around, doing one of the story missions. All these people are coming at me from every direction. I'm stuck inside this part of a shed on top of a roof or something. And eventually I'm getting 5 stars or whatever the equivalence of that is in this game. And a helicopter comes up. I'm being surrounded. A helicopter comes up. I take my sniper out and I shoot him through the glass. And the helicopter starts falling down. And I go into the shed really fast. And the helicopter lands right outside, right where I was. And it was incredible. I was like, this is a fun game.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that.
Oh, it was so cool. Felt like an action set piece, in a scripted game.
Well, it seemed
cool.
you had a lot of those playing that game where it was just dumb fun of just things.
It was intense. It was a lot of fun.
So. Awesome.
I have it, but it's really spoilery. Anyone who plays this game will know what it is. Darby will know what I'm talking about. It's kind of a tie, but it's the same game, Super Mario Odyssey. The halfway point and the stuff that happens in the end.
Right.
That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, I guess if you want to hear us talk more about that, refer to a few episodes ago. I think it was just titled Goodbye 2017. At the end of that, we talk about Mario Odyssey. And there is, a moment in Mario Odyssey that was very, very special.
Yeah. Well, there are a couple to me.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had to be vague on those, unfortunately, but other ones I can get some more. Kind of like Darby said, going off the Great Plateau was amazing. Potentially other moments, the kind of the vague thing Darby said, twist, and Doki Doki Literature Club.
Right.
Anyone
right,
played
right,
stuff like that.
Right. That was amazing.
Kind of well, I played more games, but I didn't play too many games that were narrative heavy, so I didn't just have as many options potentially.
Right. Yeah.
As you'll see when we get into the next couple categories.
Okay. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Okay. We have favorite story. Mine, it's kind of a tough competition between a lot of things, but I'm going with What Remains of Edith Finch because this was just a narrative that after playing this game, I was thinking about it like all the next week. I just thought about all the different unique stories it's telling and the way that it like merged this like narrative that it's subtly telling like through flashbacks and everything, and it like melds it with gameplay stuff so in such unique ways to where like, you know, if you don't know much about Edith Finch, you just like there's this family and it's obvious that everyone has died in this family, and you're like kind of going through all their rooms and you end up having these like weird like kind of artistic like flashback things about how they died. And every single one of them, it's like a different game almost, and it does all these like very interesting ways to show the like horrifying things that have happened in this family, and it's just narratively very, very, very special. It's kind of hard to talk about too much. You just need to play it. And that's like, I mean, Horizon was an amazing story this year, even Persona, Hellblade, all of these, but this is the one that I feel like stuck with me the most, probably. Yeah.
I don't know. Like,
I know it's harder for you.
I want to say Horizon just because I know it's good,
Right.
but I haven't gotten to like a point where I'm like, hey, there's incredible storytelling, you know?
Horizon takes a bit.
So, I mean, I've enjoyed all the stuff with Rost and like, yeah, but I haven't gotten to any twists or anything. So, I don't know. Weirdly enough, I had a ton of fun in the Destiny campaign. So I think that's probably what I'm going to go with. It was, yeah, I mean, after coming out of Destiny 1, which was just not a great story at all, there was nothing going on. You didn't understand what was happening most of the time. And then going to Destiny 2, which was a lot more scripted, it felt a lot more like the heyday of Halo and stuff. So, yeah, I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would too. So,
yeah, that's why a lot of people talk about that. So at least in that way, they got it right in one instead of having to wait for DLCs to get to get a story. Yeah.
And I mean, they made a lot of probably bad decisions after that, but the story was really good.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, my favorite story is, I troubled thinking about this because there are a lot of options, or some really good options, maybe not a lot, but I decided to, if you ask me tomorrow, it could be different, but I decided right now for Life is Strange Before the Storm.
Interesting. Okay.
Because I finished that last night. Darby hasn't done.
It's fresh.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've
not played episode 3 yet. Yeah.
I feel like it was overall, pretty strong story all the way through.
Yeah.
Hard to go into details again.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it does a good job of, if we, like me and Darby have talked about in our spoiler cast for Life is Strange usually does a good job of showing like what's it kind of like being a high school kid with the awkwardness and everything. It's really good at that. The dialogue's really strong. And I think it shows how strong they are. The writers are like building up their characters, because how difficult it is to make choices, like thinking of how this will affect them and how it will hurt them and everything.
Yeah.
So I think, sign of strong writing. And I think I heard some people just generally talk, they didn't like the third episode as much as like the ending.
Yeah, I've heard
Maybe
that.
in some ways it's weaker, but I liked it.
Okay.
I liked it a lot. Just kind of shout out, obviously, to what Darby said, What Remains of Edith Finch in Night in the Woods.
I was expecting you to say Night in the Woods.
I was thinking about it, but again, I'm going to go into spoilers. It's just a little thing at the end that I feel like the end of it, or at least part of the end, was stronger in Life is Strange to me than Night in the Woods.
Okay.
Otherwise, I would definitely put in Night in the Woods. And as you see later, I'll give a lot of shouts to Night in the Woods.
I imagine it's close at least. Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, that's also the fact they were able to tell such a compelling story in a prequel. It's like, it's so hard to do. And
that's also the thing. I think they did a really good job with it being a prequel.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. It doesn't feel boxed in or anything by the outcome?
Mm-mm. I mean, obviously there's some limits to what they can do. Like, obviously, Chloe's not going to die. But you don't have to worry about that at all. But I think they did a good job concerning it. And they did a good job. I'm going to have to go back and play the first Life is Strange to see if there any inconsistency between it. But I don't feel like there was anything that would mess up anything story-wise in Life is Strange. In fact, replaying it probably makes some moments stronger.
Yeah.
Even Darby can probably attest to that at this point.
Yeah, I agree so far. I'm just one episode left, but
Yeah.
I definitely agree. I think I would like it's answering questions that I wasn't asking, but like I didn't think that I cared to know more about Chloe, but just the way that they told it, they definitely made it its own thing enough to where like I'm never once thinking like, oh well, this doesn't matter because I know what's going to happen. It just doesn't really happen that much.
And it makes me curious, kind of wanting to play Life is Strange again at some point, the first season, to maybe, look at it a partly different way and have maybe some things get a stronger reaction out of me.
Yeah, very interesting context that I think it's a good companion piece, I think.
Yeah, and I think what's part of makes it stronger is like how good of a prequel it actually is.
Right, yeah.
That's exciting. I was worried it was going to be like a halfway point. But
We were too. We were very much, yeah. Okay, next one. My favorite character. This one's easy for me. It's Senua from Hellblade. I've talked again and again and again about Hellblade on this podcast, but Senua as a character was just so interesting and different when it comes to video games or really just movies or anything like that, where it was a real like in-depth look at someone with like mental illness and like psychosis and stuff, and you're like actually in her head, and to the way that they tell her story, like she's not talking much like out loud to other people, but by the voices in her head and the experience she goes through and some of the like hallucinations she has, they like slowly give you more and more about her past and more about like aspects of her character in just a very, very, very cool way. And I mean, like, yeah, it's, to me, this is kind of a no-brainer. She was the character that I'm going to leave 2017's gaming thinking about the most. So, I mean, like, I've said it over and over again. You should definitely play Hellblade with over-ear headphones. I'll say that over and over again too. Yeah.
Well, I fell in love with Aloy like immediately in Horizon. So I texted both of you guys and was like, "Hey, yeah, I'm in love with her. She's amazing.
Number one waifu for the year?
Yeah, definitely gonna wife her as well.
Aloy waifu of the year, 2017.
Why do we have that as a category?
Oh, we should. Sorry.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah, very strong, awesome.
In many
character.
ways,
It's
yeah.
like yeah. And actually, Birch just did a very good job with her. I left Horizon wishing sometimes, like, by the end of the game, I kind of wish they had done a little bit more with her, because, like, at times she just kind of became generic protagonist. Mm-hmm. But then as soon as you started thinking that she would have another, like, hilarious line or something, some very human line, it would be like, okay, there it is again. It was just kind of like, it lost at times. But
she feels very real, which is cool.
She's not stiff like a lot of, like, protagonists are. Like, she'll, which I appreciate.
Well, my favorite character, Rabid Peach, JK.
Okay. I thought you were going to. I was like, oh, what?
Short answer, no, it's May from Night in the Woods.
Okay. not surprised.
Yeah, she just, I think, and I'll get more into it later with Night in the Woods and all, but Night in the Woods as a story is kind of pretty relatable, especially me at that time of life, because May is a college dropout. She's about at our age pretty much, and just kind of the problems like what she wants to do with her life and all that kind of stuff, and like she doesn't really have a plan or anything. It's kind of relatable to me at this point.
Yeah.
So
too
relatable. Yeah. And just her reactions with the whole town and everything. I really love her as a character, and I'll get more to her it later, but just about everything in Night in the Woods, the more I'm farther away I get away from the game, the more I'm loving it.
That is so high on my need to play list. And because it's not much money.
Well,
right? Like,
here's the thing. People who listen to podcasts already know it's coming to the Switch in a couple weeks.
So I'm definitely waiting for that.
Yeah.
Wait, who was that made by? You know?
I don't know their name. I think this was their first game.
Is it an indie thing, or is it
yes.
okay?
Interesting. I've heard that name, but I don't know if
I imagine it's not that long, right? But I might
7-8ish hours.
It's longer than I thought, but still not bad. I might pick that up.
It's longer than Call of Duty campaign.
Shout across the bow. All right, are you done, Jeff?
Yep. And I was going to show. Probably. This is what the game.
I see.
Yeah. So next category is favorite setting, and this one I had to kind of like have my own interpretation of what
That's
this
probably
means.
The way it is.
Yeah, because my answer is Horizon Zero Dawn for best setting. The one where I had to like come up with is with Zelda versus Horizon, and basically the way I look at it is I think Horizon, like the actual setting and like where it takes place, how it looks, and just the world and how different it is more interesting to me on that level than Hyrule is. It's just what Nintendo does with that world in Hyrule that makes Zelda better than Horizon to me. But as far as just setting wise, I think Horizon's setting was just really incredible with the robot dinosaurs all over the place and everything, but everything still feels grounded in a way. And you're finding these things of like, you can see like a building with like moss grown over it and stuff. Like it feels like this is our world, just like far in the future. And it's just such an interesting like sci-fi setting that like I really love. Also, I love that like you go in a direction for a while and then you're like just in like bitter snow and it's like cold and like no game has ever felt as cold as Horizon does sometimes there, and it's just awesome. And then you go to another area and it's like beautiful and lush, and I just love the variety in that world. It's pretty incredible.
I realized that just the other night when I was playing that like an hour or two ago I was in the cold in the snow and it was snowing, and then I don't know, I traveled just a little bit west, I guess, and it was like desert plains and stuff. It was really cool noticing how much it changes.
Yeah.
So.
I love it. It's not realistic, but it's like, whatever, it's fun.
Yeah,
it's
a
awesome.
world.
Yeah, it's great. It makes it, I mean, just visually that game is stunning, and that world feels lived in.
Yeah.
And like more like, I expected that world to be a lot more like, looking at like trailers and stuff, I expected it to be a lot more just kind of like barren and stuff, but it's actually like, this is so far post-apocalyptic that society is kind of actually rebuilt itself in ways. Like there's actually a lot of people and
there's like cities,
which
and
is
stuff.
cool. It's cool. Like I feel like not many things go that far sci-fi where it's like they go somewhere in the middle when humanity is completely like fallen. This like so it's very interesting.
That's obviously my answer too.
Yeah, okay, I figured. I figured the way we were talking about it.
Well, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Makes sense. That would be my number 2. So like, you haven't played Horizon.
Yeah, and what puts this above, the other games I played is kind of Darby said, it's just the way the world is, the way Nintendo created the world, and just everything in it, and just even the little stuff like even just little references to stuff in different games like that we know is in Hyrule, like Bridge of Eldin and stuff, and Hyrule Castle and like the forest and everything. It's just love it. Yeah. Just love going around that world.
Or the variety there too, when you just like you spend hours up in the Zora Kingdom or whatever, and then you're in the Gerudo area and it's completely different and everything. Yeah. Like you're fighting. I mean, I wish you were fighting different enemies. That's the one complaint I have probably about Zelda is the repeating enemies. But the world itself is. I mean, again, it's so close with that in Horizon. I just think of more of Zelda as like I said, what they did with that setting than anything else. Okay, next one. Favorite cast. So it's like cast of characters. This is kind of tough for like just like there's lots of good ones, and I have a feeling if I had played all of Persona, it would probably
spoiler. Same thing with me for that.
Yeah,
same thing with that, and honestly, Xenoblade for a lot of these.
Honestly, yeah, I forgot. Like lots of these, like I haven't played all of Persona, and I haven't played like Night in the Woods and Gravity Rush, and there's like several of these that like had I played them could have been on. Yeah. But with the games that I've played, my favorite one is Uncharted because with Chloe and Nadine were just such awesome characters together, and then like I won't spoil it, but like other characters in the Uncharted universe like come into it as well, and in an amazing way, in a really really creative and great way. And just like their banter back and forth and everything, like building up each character, their characters back and forth and making them more fleshed out than they were before was awesome. And having that with an Uncharted game, just tons of fun. So.
I want to say Uncharted, and I haven't even played it. I don't know. I feel like I'm just saying Horizon for like all these, but I mean it's true. Yeah. Since the other games I've played are like Destiny.
You mean it's not Andromeda?
Fortnite.
Now let's say you play very few story-heavy games in pretty much Horizon and Mass Effect.
No, I think Rocket League has the best cast.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Did that come out in 2017? Like, I need to count that.
It did not.
It did on Switch.
No, yeah. I've been playing Call of Duty World War II, and the cast is like not good in that. So
I mean, I've heard it's just kind of generic war dudes that are just like,
I've seen that story played out like 5 times in different media. So
that's what's so disappointing that when I heard people say like, yeah, this is just cookie cutter.
Multiplayer is fun, but the campaign's just like everything else.
Yeah. So Horizon for you?
Horizon, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Night in the Woods.
I knew it. Like, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, it just... Okay, not really a spoiler, but for the first little bit of the game, for the most part, it involves going day by day and going through town and seeing how people are doing and how you communicate with them. Kind of somewhat affects what happens with them later in the story and stuff.
Right.
A lot of people can find that, you're repeating that or whatever and find that boring or whatever. I really enjoy it because I really just love the whole cast of characters throughout the town, just going, checking on each people day from day and... even somewhat kind of saying, who am I going to spend time with, type of thing.
Yeah.
So good.
All right,
it's really well written characters. Again, one thing I don't want to go too far into.
Yeah. All right, next category is favorite weapon in a game. This was a harder one for me because there's not too many games I've played this year that I felt like had like very big memorable weapons. Really, the only one that had memorable weapons to me was Horizon. So, in my favorite, this is just a very specific thing. The sharpshooter bow in Horizon, like, it's just one of those, like, in certain games when it feels right, I like to be the long range, like, sharpshooter thing, then sometimes it doesn't feel right. I also just really like bows, and it's like the combination of both. And when I got that, it felt so satisfying to be like forever away and just like hit the robot like right in the eye, or hit a big one like straight in the eye and get it. It was just a very satisfying weapon. I didn't count Mario possessions as a weapon. Because if we did, then I could go on an entire podcast talking about all the different things you possess in Mario and how great they are. But the best possession is that bird.
Yes.
The bird that you peck into the wall. It's not really a weapon, though. So.
Yeah, actually for me,
living thing.
For you, this makes more sense, I think, with the games you played, probably.
Well, yeah, I think, so, like, Destiny 2 has a ton of great guns, but I was actually between the sharp shoot, is it sharp shot?
I looked it up and it says sharp shot, or at least
That's
for the like highest level.
Oh, right,
sharp shot. So it might be sharpshooter.
No, but yeah, using that. I mean, all the bows in that game, really, all the weapons in that game are really fun to
Very
use.
satisfying,
But the sharp shot bow is awesome. Just and yeah, especially against the Watchers.
Yeah,
how it makes that noise.
Yeah,
right in their face.
And they just go fall away. It's
fantastic.
Great.
But yeah, in Destiny, there's also this launcher that's pretty good in multiplayer and single player. That it launches like 8 missiles at once, and they just go all spiraling. It's amazing. It's really good.
Explosives are always good.
Yeah.
Horizon, the explosive. Have you gotten like when you like launch the bombs at them?
I don't have.
I don't think I got.
I don't
that
have the
for a while,
bomb one. I just have like the cold one and the shock or whatever.
Okay. Those are really good too.
Okay, for me, I'm just gonna Luigi's sniper. From Mario Plus Rabbids.
From the little bit I played with you, and I understand that.
And
he snipes.
He is a sniper. Luigi is a sniper.
If I'm gonna pick a particular one just based off design, I'm gonna pick the Suction Destruction.
What?
Because it's based off the Poltergeist 5000 from Luigi's Mansion. But part of the reason I picked just Luigi's
in general,
sniper rifles in general is. It's just so satisfying to shoot people with Luigi.
Well, it is so funny. Well, you can set it. You can set it so that, like, in a certain ability, you can set it so if anyone moves, you'll immediately shoot them. So someone starts like waddling out the corner, and Luigi's immediately
from far away.
Bam,
and Luigi, he can set
out.
it so he can do that 3 times. And
wow.
So he's just taking people out.
So what also is really fun, especially with a sniper, if you have like Mario or whatever, and they both do it. Mario can't do it as much. Let's say Luigi shoots someone, they jump up in the air, then Mario shoots them because they're jumping in the air and they're moving, then Luigi, then Mario, then Luigi.
Who knew Luigi was an assassin? That's amazing.
Pretty hard.
Luigi is amazing in that game. In every way, shape, or form.
Okay, so favorite gameplay mechanic / like overlooked gameplay mechanic. I just couldn't, like, as far as if we're talking about overlooked mechanics. So I'm just trying to think of mechanics that aren't talked about all the time or whatever. Again, just this game's not talked about enough in general, but Hellblade, the way that it uses audio in that, and it's specifically in this one, there's a time where like you can't see anything, and it's like you're having to basically move through the world with only audio, which sounds like it would be a hassle in most games. In this game, it does it so well. I was just so like raptured into it, and just in general, Hellblade audio in general is just that needs to be that. If we're talking about, I just want to like mention not overlooked. This is certainly not an overlooked gameplay mechanic. But geez, I mean the Mario possession, like just
that's
all
my answer.
all the different things you possess in that game. I mean, this is not overlooked whatsoever.
Oh, no.
Everyone knows about it, but God, it worked so well.
Yeah.
It shouldn't have worked as well as it does, but it's constantly everything you possess is new and interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's great.
That sounds great.
Thank you. Well, thank you.
Glad you agree with us.
Well, I obviously play a lot of shooters, and this isn't a new gameplay mechanic, but the satisfying feeling of a hit marker is amazing. And now every shooter has that in some way. But the other one I was thinking about specifically in the game was Ghost Recon Wildlands and Rainbow Six Siege, actually. Whenever you go prone, you can turn around completely, so like he's prone and then he like switches over, so you can just like go in circles and aim all around instead of just being prone and like turning like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It kind of like sits up more. It's actually really
better.
cool.
Yeah, I love it.
It looks really good too. So.
Yeah. So
very small.
I mean, favorite, how can it not be?
It's certainly not overlooked. I think you're the one that added overlooked in there. Like Mario Possession is certainly not overlooked.
I didn't add overlooked.
I did overlook.
Oh, okay. I thought all of these came from you, so that's why I just assumed.
No, a few of them were mine.
Okay, cool. No, I mean I'm fine with overlooked being there. I was just questioning if you put overlooked and then chose Mario.
Overlooked. I don't know. I have trouble. I just felt like Xenoblade 2 just combat system in general. It's just so satisfying. Yeah. But a lot of people hate it.
Some people look at it and hate it, but then other people like love it. Yeah,
they're wrong. It's great.
Yeah. Okay, favorite trailer. This one's very hard. I know what yours is. I'm just assuming what yours is. That's number 2 for me, very close. But my number 1 is the God of War E3 trailer. That trailer, I was already hyped for this game, but that trailer just got me so freaking... It had everything. It was amazing CGI thing. It teased the story and a relationship with the kid, and it had a gameplay. Like, it had everything you would want in it, and it just, like, I wanted to play that game immediately after that trailer.
You might be able to in 2 months, Darby, if the rumors are true.
Maybe. We'll see. They're waiting a long time with that release date.
It's amazing that my answer to this isn't the Red Dead Redemption 2 trailer. But
it wasn't that great of a trailer.
It's,
not that the game's going to be amazing.
Yeah,
that's all people bring that up. Even I'm like, it was okay. Just showing off the game. That's great in itself. But
it's just environment. You know,
like, Rockstar doesn't need to have a great trailer. We know it's going to be good, but it wasn't the best trailer.
Yeah, I think mine's Spider-Man trailer. I'm so looking forward to that game, and that trailer, or really like all the gameplay and stuff was incredible. So, yes, Spider-Man E3.
Mario E3 trailer.
Yep.
Who knew?
Yeah. Who knew?
What a twist.
Yeah, just the fake out in the beginning with the dinosaurs. Like, what is this? Is Xenoblade
against
this
really
Monster
weird.
Hunter? Like,
really
wait,
weird.
it's Mario? What?
Oh, and just
introducing Cappy, the capturing mechanic,
and everyone's reaction to it. Like, no, that's a close number 2. I'm making fun of you, but that was like almost my number 1.
And just introducing Jump Up Superstar. It's
and I still love that song.
Yeah, it just kept them going like, what? Because all the things that are happening. It's
so great. Okay, biggest surprise. Again, no brainer. Doki Doki Literature Club. Are you kidding me? Biggest surprise of 2017. I had no clue even like a few hours before I ended up playing that game what that was gonna be. It just came out of nowhere, and the fact that it was presents as a dating sim becomes something completely different. It's just so meta, so weird, and so great. I mean, it's obvious. That's such an awesome and surprising game. You need to play it. He finally played it, so...
Yeah, no, I've had it downloaded. I actually wanted to... maybe I'll talk to you guys later, but I wanted to record myself playing.
You absolutely should.
With the microphone and on the screen, but I need to figure out like a video capturing thing that will work well for my PC.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure on your PC, I'm sure you can find a way to record it, or if you want to come here and use I don't know if that would work for PC.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah,
we'll figure it out later.
But I do plan on playing it. I just wanted to do like a Let's Play.
You absolutely should. So. You absolutely should. You have the opportunity to do that because you don't know. So, what was your biggest surprise or did you have a surprise of 2017?
Yeah, well, I guess the biggest surprise, does it have to be a game specifically, or just something that happened?
This is open to interpretation.
Yeah.
Just whatever you want it to be.
Whatever you want. Whatever your mind.
Well, I guess
Beating Kentucky the other
non-related. No, I think absolutely the biggest surprise is that Battlefront 2 actually like took away their microtransactions.
Yes,
Like,
I agree.
what happened there? That was insane.
Like hours before it released.
Yeah.
I
just
agree
because
with
it was
that.
so close, it was amazing.
Still sold amazingly. There are a lot of answers I can do for this. It could be like you said, Doki Doki. It could be Life is Strange being actually a good prequel. Nintendo comeback potentially.
Yeah,
PUBG being as big as it is, but
that's true.
I don't know. Whenever I think biggest prize, I gotta go Mario plus Rabbids.
That's fair.
Yes,
That's fair.
I think that is fair too.
Just, I mean, me and Darby, me and you weren't as harsh on at the beginning. Like, once the stuff came out.
No, I pride ourselves in
Yeah.
saying that we're like, no, this game seems like it could actually be good, and then it was.
Yeah, but just this thing in general existing and it actually being good,
Winning
is crazy.
awards and
Yeah.
It's
It's crazy, and it's such a good game.
awesome. Okay, biggest disappointment. Now, I have two different categories here because I felt like the first one was just a cop out. First one is Star Wars Battlefront because obviously, for obvious reasons, everything that went down in that game, and I was looking forward to the story, and apparently it's bad, and the microtransactions thing killed it. But I didn't play that game at all, so I think that's kind of a cop out to say that that's my biggest disappointment. So I'm gonna try to my biggest disappointment in games I've played, which honestly I've enjoyed every single game I've played this year.
Yeah, when you mentioned, I was
Because-
trying to think.
Because like I only have so much money to spend on games,
Yeah.
so when I buy games, it's the games that I like. So like I like this game that I'm about to say this about.
Mhm.
But my biggest disappointment in games I played is going to be the Injustice 2 story mode. I have not seen many other people. Think I'm like way in the minority in the fact that I didn't think that the story mode was nearly as good as people made it out to be. Like, just people were saying it was like, oh, they finally did a fighting game story with like lots of substance, and it's like meaty, and like, you know, it's like fighting games can have a good story again. I played it and I'm like, yes, it's the best fighting game story I've played, but that's not saying much. And I still feel like it's limited in the same ways that fighting game stories are always limited. And
Yeah.
like, these characters have to fight, so how they get together, here you go.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like the cutscenes are kind of weak. The story's way too short for what they're trying to tell. I just didn't think it was that much better than any other fighting
Well,
game story.
I'll say this. I definitely like it more than you do, but I mean, I'm not at the level of the people you were naming, and I agree. Some people put it at too high of a standard. Like you said, it still has those fighting game things. They got to do some reason to get in the fight, even if it doesn't make sense and everything. And because they got to do that, the cutscenes, they may not be able to do all they wanted to do with it, especially when you compare it to the comics when the same kind of story, but they can do whatever they want.
Until I can stop saying like it was a good story for a fighting game, I'm not gonna give it the accolades.
As far as story
people
itself,
give it.
it's solid, but it's just kind of like you said, just the fighting gameness of it kind of limits it.
And it was just the way people talked about it versus what it ended up being for me. Was,
I hear you.
Biggest regret is gonna be
Disappointment.
biggest disappointment.
Spoilers.
Absolutely. Sorry, spoiler. Absolutely, Mass Effect Andromeda.
Figured.
That
What?
that game was so like not even mediocre. It was just like it
was there.
What is this game doing?
Just half baked.
Oh yeah. I was mixed up on regret because that's also obviously my regret.
spending
Buying
$60
Mass
on
Effect
that.
Andromeda at launch. But yeah, it was just such a mediocre game.
And just with a Mass Effect name on it.
Like, oh my gosh, I was so looking forward to that game, and even the fact that I played like, I don't know, 10 hours of it is like kind of surprising since I don't think about that game anymore.
And I mean, like, you gave it a shot. You were not just like, memes and stuff, I'm not going to play it. Like, you actually like went in on it, and it was just I took a meaningful time to actually get into it, and I just dang it. That's 3 times. Sorry, audio people. All right, Jeff, what's your biggest disappointment?
This should be no surprise for anyone who's listening to ukulele.
Yes. I forgot you actually did pay money for a game you didn't like this year. I did not.
I paid money for that game like 2 years ago.
At least you got your money's worth.
Yeah.
You didn't. At least they actually went through with it.
The Kickstarter, they gave you a game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
My name was in the credits. I looked.
That's cool.
I looked at a YouTube video.
I was about to say, I don't think
through.
you beat the game, did you?
No, but I saw even before I did the game, you could look at the credits beforehand. I think they threw that in so people could find their name.
That was so sad to, like, if you listen back on our podcast, it was like the podcast when he got it and, like, played the first few hours, he was so full of hope. And he was like, I don't know, I think people are, like, talking too bad on it. And it was, like, the next one or two podcasts later, it was like, yeah.
You got that on PS4, I assume? Or
Yes.
Is it on Switch now, too?
It is on Switch. Apparently people said it's better on there. I don't know. I don't know the reasons.
It seemed like the problems it had are more than just what, like...
Yeah.
I mean, control problems were
a
a problem, but it was also, like, game design problems, right?
Some, yeah. But, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just a big disappointment all around. I said this before, strangely enough, Mario Odyssey is more the Banjo-Kazooie game I wanted.
That's funny.
Okay. Well, biggest regret, mine's simple, not playing Gravity Rush 2. I was so excited for that game coming out to it, and then just all the other games of the year happened, and now we're coming up on a year of its release, and I have not played it at all.
Servers they've pushed back servers. They were going to shut it down like now.
Yeah, that's just multiplayer, though, right? So, I mean, like,
It's like challenges and stuff, and I think they're, like, some of it involves actually getting costumes. Which kind of sucks.
Yeah.
So.
I hope you can still get at least some of them.
Yeah. Well, I have Gravity Rush 2, so whenever you want to play it, Darby.
Yeah, I just love the original so much, and I was so happy that they made a second one that if I had told myself, like, oh yeah, it's going to be a year later and you hadn't touched it, I would be very shocked. You know,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, mine is buying Mass Effect at launch, but also not playing Horizon earlier. And thinking that those two
Not
games...
listening to Darby earlier.
Thinking that those two games came out at the same time makes it even worse. Yeah, I wish I was able to be part of that conversation more when it was happening. But.
My reason was for not playing Horizon is Zelda. And Switch.
Yeah, that's true.
But now that we're getting in a slower slump, you really need you can take it home with you tonight if you want.
Yeah, I appreciate it, but I already have... okay, getting my biggest regret. Just not playing more games that I wanted to, even though I feel like I've had the time to play them, but I just...
Well, you've played a lot of games. It's just there's too many games.
Yeah, and not finishing games I've already started, like, mainly Persona and South Park and Cuphead. Those three up there. But you're not playing it's like Nier and Gravity Rush and stuff like that. And Horizon. I don't know when I'm going to get to Horizon, just partly because I got, like, Persona, I need to finish in Xenoblade, and I got Nier.
Well, anytime you want, it's there.
I appreciate it.
All right, the most important category, best knack. My answer is vampire knack.
Okay.
I literally looked up a Wikipedia of knack forms and saw the different ones. And
Jeff just deleted that. He was like, I'm not doing that.
Oh no! He added it, so I didn't put it on here.
What is the best knack?
I mean, is there any other knack except Colonel Sanders?
I don't think there is. I think you're right.
That's the only one I know.
Dead on there.
This might be cheating because it technically didn't happen in 2018, but I'm going with burning Chibi Robo Knack.
I like it. No, I'll
Yeah.
accept it. I'll
Yeah.
accept burning Chibi Robo knack.
Yeah.
Best knack.
I'll have to look that one up.
Yeah. You definitely did listen to last week.
Nope. God, oh, come on. Okay. Let's now we're gonna go through just our top 10 games. Let's not talk about them too much though, because we've already talked about everything else here, and we're running out of time. So,
Yeah.
Jeff, I'm gonna go with my number 10.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry. First.
Or how are we doing? Are we letting him go? Just go straight through?
Oh yeah.
How are we doing that?
Will. Since you don't have you just talk about what were your favorite games of 2017? We'll just let you kind of.
You don't have to mention
Okay.
Mass Effect if you don't want to.
You don't have to have them in a ranking if you don't want to. You can just kind of mention what's your favorite ones, or whatever you want to.
Well, I played a little bit of Fortnite. Not my cup of tea. Not a huge fan. I think I'd like PUBG a lot more.
Okay, even you played the Battle Royale mode.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it would be a lot more fun if it was more realistic and not. I don't like the building stuff in it.
I think I would prefer PUBG too. I mean, I like Fortnite, but I think I would prefer PUBG.
Mass Effect Andromeda. I really do kind of want to get back to that game. I don't think I will, just because there's other
despite
things.
everything else.
Yeah, sad. Call of Duty World War II. I'm playing through the campaign now. I like the multiplayer. Campaign's very melodramatic, and we've seen it 1,000 times. Ghost Recon Wildlands is a surprisingly good game that I still love.
Yeah.
hold dear in my heart, even though I burnt out of it towards the end.
I know, I was very surprised by how much you love it. I'm glad, yeah.
I played it so long. Destiny 2, I still play occasionally. I do like that. I like that game and that world a lot. And yeah, Horizon. That's another game I'm playing right now, and I like it a lot. So yeah, that's all the 2017 games I played. Surprisingly,
There's some good games though, and you can definitely as you get some more.
Yeah.
I have a feeling Horizon's going to be your favorite one.
I'm sure. Yeah,
Like,
just
by
the
time you get
gameplay
to the end
alone,
of it.
is so good. So I can't wait to see the story unfold.
Awesome.
Go
All
for
right.
it.
Yeah. Also, you feel free to leave whenever you need to.
Okay.
Yeah. So don't feel bad about that.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to start out just with my honorable mentions.
That's what I
Did
do,
not make top 10. Is Injustice 2 is one of them. Very good fighter. Really enjoyed it. Improved on Injustice a lot, but yeah, whatever. Gang Beasts came out this year. It's been so much fun to play with everyone else and play in their groups. I've loved it a lot. He gets to see all the spoilers. Yeah.
It's fun.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is another honorable mention. To me, it's weird. It's kind of like, to me, all the stuff that Deluxe did, to me, I experienced that stuff on Wii U with you so long before it didn't really feel like it didn't feel like a 2017 thing. So that wasn't there. And last one, Snipper Clips. Snipper Clips was a lot of fun to play with you and everyone else. Just all these Switch games like that. Yeah.
I'll back you up on. I didn't put them there as my honorable mentions, but I'll back you up on all those multiplayer games you said.
Yeah.
So let me go for my own honorable mention first. Okay, first one. I put Cuphead and South Park there just because they're games I've loved what I played. I have not finished them, and I feel like they would probably definitely get a spot in my top 10 if I had.
Yeah.
I just didn't play enough to get the thing of them. Little Nightmares. It's a fun little 3 or so hour game. Very spooky.
Very spooky. Too spooky for me.
Yep. Just a fun little 2D puzzle platformer thing. Kind of reminiscent of Inside. Not to that level, but, you know.
Oh, speaking of, I downloaded Inside the other day.
Oh, have you
Play
not
it.
played Inside yet?
Oh.
You need to play Inside.
Sit down one night, do it in one go.
Yeah.
That's the plan.
That's like a one-sitting game.
Is it like 2 hours?
Something. Maybe 2.5 or... I don't remember, honestly.
3 at the most, and
3
I'm
at the
pretty sure it's not that.
I'm excited.
Like, I think I did
unless you
it.
suck.
I think I did it in 2 sittings just because I started at like 11 p.m. or something. But like, it's a one-sitting game for
I'm
sure.
excited.
And last honorable mention, a game I beat last night.
Oh.
Super Hot VR.
Oh, hey.
That's cool.
Such a good game. You just feel like such a badass in there.
That's what everyone says. You're just dodging bullets.
Yeah. Yeah, people know it's kind of like a little action thing, but it's also like a puzzle game or whatever. And the way it's set up is... I'm doing this now, so I don't have to do it at the beginning of the thing we go. We're games we played. Mostly, yeah. You get to beat a level, you got to do a couple different scenarios in a row, and if you lose at a later one, you have to go back to the beginning, blah, blah, blah. But I'm not completely against that because it's not as annoying as you would think it'd be. Because at the beginning, you just feel so bad because you can do it right away. Just like one example is there are two... To start a level, you have to like grab something in front of you. There's one thing, there are 2 knives. In that level, there were 2 people at the side of you, so I just grabbed the knives and just, without looking, just stabbed them both. Then the level. It feels so awesome. So yeah.
It's made for VR for sure.
Oh yeah.
All right. My number 10 game of 2017, Life is Strange Before the Storm. Now, also, this is again with the caveat of I am in episode 2 of 3. Like, I have not played the last episode yet, so that's obviously a thing there. But I love this game. Honestly, the fact that it's this low is kind of just a testament to how good the rest of these games are, because I really don't have many negative things to say about Life Before the Storm. I think that maybe it's a little worse than the original one, just because, I mean, I think it has a little less room to breathe, like, gameplay and, like, lengthwise and stuff like that, and just, like, asset-wise, I don't go as many places.
They can't go as crazy with the story as well, because prequel.
Yeah, but it never feel like that's not a constraint. It's just like, and certain things feel a little too video gamey, but like it only ever lasts a few seconds where it feels like that, and it's fine. So amazing game. It's just these other games are just so good.
My number 10, Doki Doki Literature Club.
Yes, I'm glad it's in the top 10.
So we've talked about this enough. Me and Darby got the Spoilercast or whatever. I can't go too anywhere else spoiling things. Just try to get through the dating sim stuff to get to the good stuff.
Yeah, it's a slog getting through there, but it's supposed to be, and it's just such a unique game.
Yeah, very memorable.
And how long was that game to play?
2 to 3 hours.
Yeah, like, at most 4 hours, at absolute most, I would say.
And a lot of it, honestly, it depends on how quick of a reader you are.
Yeah, it's a lot of
slow
reading
reader,
and clicking and stuff. So,
Yeah.
which I'm a slow reader, so it probably took me a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Did you play alone?
Yeah.
Okay.
My number 9 is Hellblade. Now, this, for how much I talk about Hellblade, this seems kind of low, but it's because really the combat and the puzzles by the end of that game are not great. It definitely, the combat, like, they just don't change enough. And it's one of those things that combat does the biggest sin that I hate of, like, instead of innovating or making it more difficult and challenging with the gameplay, they just send more guys at you. Like, the combat stays the exact same. It's just like, now you have to fight an endless horde that just lasts forever. And by the end of it, it was getting very annoying, and the puzzles were also just getting very repetitive. And if the story wasn't as groundbreaking, as amazing as it was, this game would have been very frustrating. So because of that, I can't put it up at the top.
Yeah.
But just note, like, story is like number 1. Like, it's like, you know, up there near number 1, but it's just that other stuff holds it down. Still amazing game though.
If this game had no combat, would it have suffered?
Not a lot, honestly. I mean, yes, but it could have done a lot less than it did. There are times where, like, you need the combat because it uses it story-wise and other things, so it needs it to a degree.
Okay.
But it could have done a lot less of it. It feels like they were padding for time a little bit.
Yeah, so for this game, as far as combat-wise, less is more.
Yes, yeah. And there are giant sections with no combat, and those are the best parts of the game. So.
Yeah, I know, like, when I play games similar to that, I get annoyed when there are parts like that I'm just like, I just want to get back to the good part.
Yeah, like, my hand was cramping when I got to the final thing. I'm like, gosh, can I just get through this? Yeah.
Okay, my number 9. What Remains of Edith Finch.
I'm glad that's on there too for you.
Yeah, of course. Like we said, it's the very unique game. The way they use different kind of storytelling stuff and gameplay stuff to tell story of each family member is just great. And yeah, very memorable game. And yeah. And if you have not, go watch my and Darby Spoilercast from forever ago.
God, we were probably so much even more awkward than we are now.
Yeah.
Wait 1 second. I played The Vanishing of Ethan Carter this year.
Yeah,
that game sounds similar a little bit.
I
how
think,
it's like family members and stuff.
Did you play Ethan Carter?
Nope.
Everyone got to the Rapture. That's the one you played. I get all these.
Oh yeah, I have that one too. I haven't played it yet.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about it.
Okay,
Ethan Carter. No.
Okay. But, yeah, well, it's weird because The Vanishing of Ethan Carter, like, you're like a detective and you find out all this information about this boy's, like, family members and stuff. So I was like, huh.
Is it like walking simulator?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, this is kind of like that too. All right, my number 8. This is another weird, like, kind of cop out one, but it's Final Fantasy XII: The Zodiac Age. This was the, like, remaster of Final Fantasy XII, and it added, like, the job system that was in the Japanese version and everything. And basically, if I was just looking at Final Fantasy XII in my list of, like, games I like, it would probably even be higher than this. But I was kind of looking at this and, like, what did this version add to it? And what it added was a lot. Like, that job system made a game that I already love, made it a lot better, because the mechanics are still the same or whatever, but the fact that they make you, like, you can choose 2 different jobs to have there, and it gives you different skills. It just works really, really well in that. And re-experiencing that world for, like, the 20 hours that I did was so much fun. I was just so wrapped up in that game for a while. And that's definitely one of the best experiences I've had this year, even though it's a very old game, but they added a lot to it. Cool. Definitely enjoyed it.
My number 8, Injustice 2. Okay, like mentioned earlier, why I don't have this whole story as high regard as a lot of people seem to. I'm not as low on it as Darby. Right. Whereas, fighting games is a really good story. The stuff they do with the multiverse for being a single player experience is really good. Gives you a reason to go back and, kind of get the gear and just add some challenges and stuff. Reason to try different characters out, stuff like that. Obviously, if you listen to this, I'm a big DC fan, so that just had the whole added thing. The roster was great for me. Some of the fan service stuff in there was really good. So yeah.
And continuing the story from the comics and the old game.
Yep, and there's the kind of fighter even scrubs like us can get into.
Yeah,
which helps. Yeah. And DLC isn't coming. We got Turtles like next month.
Gosh, so excited for that. All right, number 7 for me is Uncharted: The Lost Legacy. This was a game that I feel like is being so criminally underlooked because it's just, everyone just thinks it's like a DLC, so they just don't treat it with the amount of respect it does, because this is pretty much a new game. It's just a new game that uses some of the Uncharted 4 assets, but it does so many things right. It was, gameplay wise, it improves on Uncharted 4 in some ways. Like character wise, Chloe and Nadine were just so well thought out in my opinion, and it was awesome to get another like unexpected like 8-hour Uncharted experience. And it proved that Uncharted can do just fine even if they don't have Nathan Drake. Like they, their writers they're still Naughty Dog writers. So.
So realize when you said that Darby said the character's names. Good year for video game characters named Chloe in their games.
It was.
Okay, so my number 7. Not going to spend long talking about it. Life is Strange Before the Storm.
Right.
I think we've said enough just on this podcast. Go listen to our Spoilercast.
Yep, we're all that up.
Hopefully we'll do episode 3 soon.
Hopefully. Okay, well, back to me. My number 6, and this is another weird cop-out one, and I think it would even be higher if I had played all of it, but my number 6 is Persona 5. Mm-hmm. I, just so everyone knows where I've played like 30 hours of it, and I'm in Palace 2. I've played 25 to 30 hours, something like that, and I'm in Palace 2. So, in the grand scheme of things, I'm not that far in, but I know like the mechanics of the game and the way the world's being set up, and I know that this is something I can just fall completely head over heels in. And if I didn't have responsibilities in life, I would probably have finished this game forever ago. Yeah. And like the characters are just so awesome, and just exploring the palace, doing the stuff out of the palace, everything just works so well. Mm-hmm. So,
what's the cat's name?
Morgana.
Okay.
Yeah. He's annoying. He keeps on telling us to go to sleep.
Yeah, the cat tells you to go to sleep a lot.
How annoying.
I know.
Is it your mom?
Basically. If your mom was a talking cat who fought bad guys.
Who was actually a dude.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's a dude.
Yeah.
Your mom might actually be a dude talking cat.
Yeah.
Well,
you never know.
Hope I never find that out.
When's the last time you've been home? You don't know.
Okay, my number 6. Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle.
Yes.
It's talked about. Big surprise. Just a great strategy game. The combat system or whatever is just so satisfying. Just getting like a bunch of combos on when you're sliding into enemies and doing jumps off your characters and just setting all that stuff up. Just so satisfying. And I think it's a really good length, and the humor, despite being Rabbids, I think it's pretty well done. I mean, it's nothing spectacular, but kind of tuned down for normal Rabbids stuff to be enjoyable.
Yeah. I mean, the fact, if this game had even been in your honorable mentions this year, I would have been like, what the hell? The fact that it's good enough to be there is just insane. It's great. I love it. Yeah.
Bring on Donkey Kong.
Okay, what number are we at?
5.
Number 5. My number 5 is What Remains of Edith Finch. I also think I've talked enough about that game in this podcast. It's just such a unique story, such a unique video game that I hope people are going to continue to buy. I've seen it since the Game Awards. People have been talking about it again more, and people who haven't played it have been getting to it. So.
Good. Get to it.
Can't cost much money.
I'll get to it.
I think it started out $20, right? Or something like that. So yeah, it's like...
I'm sure it's been on sale multiple times.
Probably.
Okay, so I guess my number 5, Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
That's pretty high. I like it.
Yeah. Of course, mentioned before Xenoblade. I'm like halfway through the chapters, over halfway or whatever. So I have a good idea of how the game is and everything, how I like it, unless the story takes an awful turn or whatever, or becomes a slog. There's always those things.
Unless the Furby comes back in too many times with his weird robots.
He's a party member, so.
Oh God, he is?
Yeah.
Oh no.
He's great. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. I will. I've said it before, but I guess I'll reiterate. Nintendo did a kind of a bad job marketing exactly how anime this game is. I mean, it's anime, but they showed off the worst aspects of that.
Yeah.
I will stand by that. The combat's fun. The story's cool. The character's actually really enjoyable. So yeah.
Seems like is it your favorite Xenoblade game from like the other ones you played?
Probably. And this definitely has had the chance to move up if I actually finish the game.
Yeah.
So. Love
okay, my number 4 is Doki Doki Literature Club.
I know where it goes from here.
Yeah.
Doesn't everyone?
Probably anyone listening to this, like,
you've said it at this point.
I've basically said it at this point, but we'll still go through the motions. Doki Doki Literature Club, again, I've said enough about it, but like, the fact this game was that much of a, like, it got me that much, and it was such a surprise to me to the point where it's like, it's this high up on my list, because it was just, I've never seen a game do the type of things it does, and just, yeah. So, such a weird, cool experience.
Indeed.
It's been downloaded like 2.5 million times now or something.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of people playing.
Good. I won't spend much time on this because I've done it a lot on this podcast. Number 4 is Night in the Woods.
Yeah.
I'll just leave it at that. I just love this game so much. Well, I'll say this. I don't know what... Gotta control myself, but I was contemplating buying this again on the Switch. Because I wanted to play through it again.
I'm definitely waiting for the Switch, but yeah. Okay, my number 3, no surprise, Horizon Zero Dawn. Such a good game. It was just, God, this game is just everything. In any normal year, this would be number 1.
Yeah.
But this is not a normal year at all. And it kind of pains me that Horizon's number 3. It feels wrong. To think of how much I loved Horizon, to think that was my 3rd best game in 2017, and I didn't even get to all the games 2017. Crazy, but it's a crazy year.
Yeah. Number 3 for me, Persona 5. Same thing as Xenoblade. I gotten a lot of hours into it. I have an idea how much or how I feel about the game and everything. And again, unless the story takes an awful turn, blah, 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 which based on comments, that might be a reason for concern, but we'll just leave it at that for now.
Interesting.
Yeah, people say the last little bit could be a slog or whatever. So we'll see when we get there.
We'll see.
So yeah, I just love everything about this game. Style, characters are fun, battle systems,
soundtrack.
Yeah, soundtrack.
So good. Even the menu screen in Persona is stylistic and awesome.
So best menu of 2017, right?
Oh yeah, I mean,
that should have been one of our categories.
Okay, well,
that's not even worth talking about.
Persona 5.
Yeah. I think that's what Easy Allies did. So like best menus, like nominees, Persona 5. Yes.
Moving on to the next category. Number 2, Super Mario Odyssey. Jeff, this game is so freaking good.
It is.
I mean, I doubt you. I know you were like talking. You were kind of surprised when I like came to you, and I was like, honestly, Jeff, this was almost number 1. Like, that's how good this game was. And I knew I was gonna like Mario, but I've never been the Mario guy all that much. Like, I love Galaxy and I love 64 as a kid and everything, but I don't think about Mario that much, and I don't really I've never been one of those. So I just kind of thought this was going to be a game that I definitely appreciated, but I thought the moons, there was just going to be like so many of them that they felt cheap, and I thought that I was just going to, I didn't know if I would be that into it, but just the minute-to-minute gameplay of this game, the gameplay loop is just so well-tuned and so addictive. There's like a new moon around every corner, and every time you think oh, can I do this? Oh yeah, I can. Or you possess something and do something in a different way. You get a moon, but then there's another moon in the distance, like in the same level. And if you do something different, you get there. It just never stops. It never stopped the whole game. It didn't worry about story or anything, just like Zelda and like some other games on here, whatever. It was just pure fun the whole time. And it was, can't say enough good things about it. The fact that it's above Horizon for me, I did not see coming. So.
I didn't see coming. Okay, it's my number 2.
Let's see if it's changed.
The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild. It was a tough decision. Right. So, obviously, everyone knows my number 1 is at this point, but and say for you, obviously. But Zelda's so good, man. I don't know what else I need to say. We've talked about it so much this year. Pretty much the start of this podcast.
Yep, that was basically the first few episodes of this podcast.
Can't wait to play it when it gets a PS4 port.
Yep.
Yeah. Just any day now.
If you want to buy... Just buy the game. I can let you borrow my Wii U.
Yeah, thanks.
There with the gamepad. Alright, my number 1, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. It was... this game, honestly, it did honestly narrowly beat out Mario. But when I thought about it, it was just... I think Zelda just had a little bit more of that same magic that Mario did, where... I mean, and it spanned across a full 95 hours that I played that game, and it was just... It was still rewarding my curiosity and the exploration 95 hours in, which is crazy. Yeah. I mean, Mario did that in 35 days. Different games, but still. And just Zelda's deeper than Mario, and it still, added... It never felt like anything was weaker than anything else. It was just... every area was new and unique, and anything you tried to do with your, like, can I set this on fire and lift this and do this? Anything you can think of, you can pretty much do in that game. And it's kind of innovative. I think other games are going to, like, be influenced a lot by this game, and it's just really pretty groundbreaking. Definitely one of my favorite games of all time. Zelda would be. So that has to be my number one, but...
Do you think all 3 of your top 3 are in your top games of all time?
Yeah, definitely.
That's
That would be Zelda, Mario, and Horizon. That's how good this year was. 2017 was such a great year for games.
Yeah,
would you agree with that? Would you agree for you in your top 3? Would your top 3 be near your top games of all time?
1 and 2, definitely. Persona 5, that's just more
Questionable.
if I finish it. But if it keeps on going the way it is, probably.
Yeah.
Okay, so
It's crazy.
So, spoiler, number 1, Super Mario Odyssey. Yeah, it's kind of... reason I put that over Zelda is, I agree with what Darby says, it's very close, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But I think... since I had Super Mario Odyssey as my best gaming moments, multiple lists, I think it's like those kind of moments are the things that put it over. I think those kind of highs were more prevalent in Mario than Zelda. It was just a little thing that put it over.
I can understand. I mean, I think this just, like, they're so close, it just comes down to personal preference when it comes to these two games. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And kind of more the spiritual successor to Super Mario 64, which...
in so many great ways. So many amazing ways. So... that's it.
Yeah.
Those are top games of 2017. If you had to pick one of those to be your, like, number one, what do you... like, I guess they take Horizon out since you haven't played all of it.
Mass Effect.
Mass Effect, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, Destiny or Wildlands. Wildlands, like, isn't really that great of a game, but I just played it so long that it'd be wrong of me not to, like, list it out.
Okay,
you know?
just question. I'm putting you on the spot here. And you play a lot of old games. What's your favorite game you played this year?
Oh, gosh.
Because you did play a lot of games this year.
Yeah,
just like they weren't in 2017.
Sorry to put you on the spot.
No, it's okay. I just have to, like, scroll through
Pull
again.
up the PDF. Unroll the
My
scrolls.
scroll?
Yeah, and
Man. Yeah, I mean, so I played 31 games this year.
wow.
It's just that.
So it's not that you were not gaming. It
No,
was just not in 2017. You were probably being smarter with
It's
your
going to be a
money.
long
honestly.
episode, Darby.
Yeah, we'll see how we do this.
I mean, Life is Strange was pretty surprising how much I love that game. Probably the best narrative experience I had. Mad Max I played really early this year, and that was a fantastic game.
I vaguely remember you talking about that, yeah.
Let's see.
But what is the number one, Will?
Okay, the number one. The number one
And
game.
then we gotta get out of here.
Yeah, fair enough.
Is what everyone was really waiting for. Was to see
this moment.
To see what 4-year-old game Will thinks was the best.
This is
game of
actually
2017.
going to be a 4-year-old game too, I think.
Oh, okay.
Nailed
it.
Infamous Second Son, I think.
Jeez,
might have
wow,
been my favorite
number
game
one.
that I played this year.
Nice.
That's great.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Cool.
It was the gameplay in that game is just so good.
Yeah,
It's so fun. The traversal system, I suppose.
Yep.
Seattle.
In Seattle.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. Let us know what your favorite games were. Keep it locked.
Keep it locked. Keep it locked. Darby Holman.
I just felt like IGN for there when I was like, well, thank you guys. Let us know in the comments below what you think.
I can't wait to see how many comments you get.
Oh, it's gonna be so many.
I'll post a lot.
Thanks so much. Will you go comment on this video? All right.
To.
Bye,
I'll like
everybody.
Bye.